Stanley saves the day. Every day, while working in the shunting yard, Stanley, the silver saddle tank engine, can see engines pass by pulling coaches. Through the carriage windows, the passengers looked comfortable and cheerful. Stanley always thought of what it feels like taking passengers from station to station. One day, Stanley was working in the yard, arranging some cars. Thomas puffed into the station with Annie and Clarabelle, full of passengers. "Hello, Stanley. Are you all right? What's the matter?"
I couldn't help myself feeling left out, Thomas. You and the other engines take passengers from station to station. I'd never done something like that before. I wish I could...
Could what?
Ask you to show me what to do with the passengers.
Of course, Stanley. Anything to help a friend. I can show you what to do with passengers as well as coaches, if Sir Topham Hatt agrees. As indeed he did. For about a few weeks, Thomas showed Stanley what to do with passengers and coaches. With Thomas's help, Stanley was soon learning his way to handle the passengers. He gave them a smooth ride, just like he saw how comfortable they were in the coaches. He got used to it right away. Later, however, there was bad news from up the main line. Edward is broken down and the passengers are stranded in the countryside. We must help them right away.
Wait, should we get Thomas to come with us? He didn't say anything about passengers being stranded.
No time for that now. We have to help the passengers immediately.
Oh boy.
Edward was stuck on the loneliest part of the main line, looking glum. The passengers were standing out in the field, just to stretch their legs so they wouldn't stay in their seats in the coaches. Stanley arrived and helped Edward by carefully shunting him onto the siding out of the way, so that no other engine would run into him.
The passengers have to go to Vickerstown, Stanley. They have to catch the next train on Connor. He will take over from there.
Thomas didn't say anything about the passengers in a hurry.
We'll have to get them to Vickerstown somehow.
I suppose I have no choice. I have to help the passengers, even without Thomas.
So Stanley set off with the passengers in Edward's coaches to He thought of how either upset or cross they would be if they were late.
I hope the passengers wouldn't mind if I sped up a little faster.
So Stanley did. Well, just a little bit. But then his driver called out, "That's it, Stanley! More speed and we'll get the passengers to Vickerstown!" This made Stanley feel puffed up with triumph.
I will get the passengers to Vickerstown, and they will catch their train on time.
Stanley's wheels turned faster. His pistons pumped harder.
Must be on time, must be on time.
Stanley raced through the woods, over the suspension bridge, and under Henry's Tunnel, until he finally made it to Vickerstown, where Connor was waiting. He was surprised to see Stanley instead of Edward.
Stanley, you're taking passengers? Where's Edward?
Stanley explained about Edward broken down.
Poor Edward. I hope he'll be back on track soon. But well done, Stanley.
3 cheers for Stanley! Cheered the passengers as Connor left the station. Stanley beamed with pride as he went to tell Edward that all was well.
Thank you, Stanley, for helping the passengers. You really are the hero of the main line.
Stanley blushed a little, and he looked forward to tell Thomas his passenger rescue adventure.